let's talk about the foods that can potentially boost libido both in men and women. So we're talking about foods that have an aphrodisiac effect. So I first want to tell you, if you're not sleeping, if you have too much chronic stress, if you consume a high carb, high sugar diet, then none of these are going to work because these will very easily nullify libido. So testosterone is the hormone that tends to increase the libido in both men and women. But of course, with women, they don't need much because if they have too much testosterone or other androgens, what's going to happen is they're going to get facial hair and they're going to get a deeper voice and they'll lose their hair on the top of their head and a lot of other issues. So we're just talking about the right balance. Now, anything that increases estrogen too much will lower testosterone and lower libido, and that would be alcohol. Dairy. Too much dairy could potentially give you too much estrogen. And of course, soy. Soy oil, soy protein isolates can lower testosterone. And then tap water. Make sure you get a filter. There are all sorts of chemicals and hormones in tap water, including estrogen. So that can be a big problem. All right, so let's say these are handled right here. Okay, pistachios. Pistachios are high in this amino acid called arginine, which increases nitric oxide, which guess how Viagra works? By increasing nitric oxide. And so pistachios can help to a certain degree. And also selenium can increase not just fertility, but can actually help healthy testosterone levels. All right, number 2, oysters. Why? Because out of all the foods out there, oysters have the most zinc. And zinc is one of the most powerful minerals to increase testosterone levels. Also, oysters have copper, which also can help testosterone levels, as well as selenium. All right, number 3, coffee. Coffee will do 2 things. If you have too much, that can lower testosterone. If you have just a little bit, that can help. The caffeine and the polyphenols will help support healthy testosterone levels. And then we get this herb called saffron. It's very, very expensive, but they even use it to treat depression. It can increase your mood, and it can increase fertility. And then we have number 5, maca root. They call it the Peruvian Viagra. It can increase testosterone. Number 6, asparagus. In asparagus, you have this natural steroid building block that can actually help you increase your testosterone levels. Of course, we're not talking about, the steroids that someone would inject themselves with as a bodybuilder. All right, next one, truffles. So truffles are a type of mushroom. There's been some interesting studies that it can increase testosterone. All right, number 8, beets can increase nitric oxide like pistachios. Now, if you're on keto, make sure you don't do too many beets because they are a bit higher in sugar, but a small amount is going to be totally fine. But again, none of these are going to create any effect unless you're sleeping, keep your stress down, and you're on a low-carb diet. And of course, exercise also will help too. All right, thanks for watching. Hey, before you go real quick, I have a course entitled How to Bulletproof Your Immune System. It's a free course. I want you to take it. And here's why. Here's you. Here is your environment. Everyone is focused on this over here, avoiding your environment. But what about here? What about strengthening your immune system? That's what's missing. This course will show you how to bulletproof yourself, and so you can tolerate and resist your environment much better by strengthening your own immune system. I put a link down in the description right down below. Check it out and get signed up today.